Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nahda Nafisa Suhud. I am from TBI 3 6th semester, Department of English Education, Faculty of Tarbiyah and Teacher Training, State Islamic University of North Sumatra, Medan. This video was made to complete the final exam assignment of micro-teaching or Magang 2. So in this video, I will explain or teach about recontext. In recontext, we will discuss about 5 topics. The first is the definition of recontext. The second is the purpose of recontext. The third is the language feature of recontext. And fourth is the generic structure of recontext. And the last or fifth is the example of recontext. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, students. How are you today?
Good morning, Miss. I'm fine. How about you, Miss?
I'm fine too, thank you. Okay, today we're going to learn about recontext. So, in learning the recontext, we will talk about the definition of recontext, the purpose of recontext, language feature of recontext, generic structure of recontext, and the last is the example of recontext. Okay, so let's start with the first topic, that is the definition of recontext. Recontext is a text written to retell past events and experience, usually in the order in which they happen. This type of text is not only used at school, but also at other media, written and electronic. It is used in many real social contexts. For example, it is used in diary, blog, letter, biography, travel report, police report, and etc. Jadi, rekonteks itu merupakan sebuah teks tertulis yang menceritakan mengenai kejadian ataupun pengalaman yang telah berlalu. Biasanya penceritaan dari teks ini itu dilakukan sesuai dengan urutan kejadiannya. Jenis teks ini tidak hanya digunakan di sekolah saja, namun juga pada media tertulis dan elektronik lainnya. Biasanya juga banyak digunakan pada konteks sosial yang nyata, contohnya pada diari, blog, surat, biografi, laporan perjalanan, laporan kepolisian, dan lainnya. And the next, we will talk about the purpose or the social function of recontext. So the social function of recontext is to retell and inform the readers about past events, starting by telling the reader who was involved, what happened, where this event took place, and when it happened. Jadi tujuan dari recontext ini yaitu untuk menceritakan ataupun menginformasikan kepada pembaca mengenai kejadian yang telah berlalu, dimulai dari menceritakan ataupun memberitahukan kepada pembaca siapa yang terlibat, apa yang terjadi, di mana kejadian tersebut terjadi, dan kapan waktu kejadian tersebut terjadi. Oke, sampai sini ada yang ingin ditanyakan?
No, Miss.
Okay, we continue to the language feature of recontext. So there are 5 language feature of recontext. The first is focus on individual or a group participation. And second is using chronological connection, using linking verb, using action verb or material process in giving additional description regarding action done by the participants in text. And the last is using simple past. Jadi pada recontext ini terdapat 5 generic structure ataupun 5 language feature ataupun ciri kebahasaan. Yang pertama yaitu focus on individual or group participation. So recount text focus on what an individual or a group of person were doing. It can be written in the first or the third person. The first person is happening to the person writing the recount, and the third person is an observer and is telling the recount text. Jadi teks recount ini berfokus pada apa yang seseorang ataupun sekelompok orang sedang lakukan. Recount text ini dapat ditulis oleh orang pertama ataupun orang ketiga. Orang pertama yaitu seseorang yang mengalami kejadiannya, sedangkan orang yang ketiga itu merupakan orang yang mengamati kejadian tersebut. And the next is using chronological connection. So recount text use chronological connection to arrange the detail in chronological time order. Jadi konteks ini menggunakan penghubung waktu untuk menyusun detail kejadian secara kronologis. And the next list is linking verb. Linking verb is a word or expression that links a subject with its predicate. Jadi linking verb ini merupakan sebuah kata ataupun ekspresi yang menghubungkan sebuah subjek dengan kata kerjanya. And the next is using action verb or material process in giving additional description regarding action done by the participant in the text. Jadi rekonteks ini menggunakan kata kerja yang melakukan tindakan dalam memberikan deskripsi tambahan. And the last is simple past. Simple past indicates that an activity or situation began and ended at particular time in the past. Jadi simple past ini mengindikasikan bahwa aktivitas ataupun situasi dimulai ataupun berakhir pada waktu tertentu di masa lalu. And next, we will talk about the generic structure of recount text. So there are 3 generic structure of recount text. Ada 3 struktur dari recount text ini. The first is orientation, the second is the series of event, and the last is reorientation. So the orientation provides all the necessary background information to enable the readers to make sense of the text. To ensure that the orientation is detailed and thorough, the writer needs to give information about what happened, who or what was involved, when and where the events occurred, and why. Jadi pada bagian orientasi ini berisikan semua hal penting terkait informasi dasar untuk memungkinkan para pembaca memahami teks recount tersebut. Untuk memastikan bahwa orientasi dibuat secara detail, maka penulis harus memberikan informasi terkait apa yang terjadi, siapa dan apa yang terlibat, kapan dan di mana, serta kenapa hal tersebut terjadi. And the second is the series of event. In the series of event, the writer writes the event chronologically. It begins from the first events, followed by the second event to the last event. Jadi pada urutan kejadian ini, penulis menuliskan kejadiannya secara kronologis berdasarkan waktu. Dimulai dari bagaimana awalnya, lalu diikuti dengan kejadian yang kedua dan juga seterusnya. And the last generic structure is reorientation. Reorientation concludes the recount by summarizing outcomes or result, evaluating the topic's importance, or offering personal comments or opinion. It can also look to the future by speculating about what might happen next. Jadi pada bagian orientasi ini, ataupun biasanya pada paragraf terakhir, menyimpulkan teks recount dengan memberikan hasil ataupun pencapaian, mengevaluasi topik, ataupun memberikan komentar atau pendapat. Pada bagian ini juga dapat berisikan spekulasi ataupun perkiraan yang sekiranya akan terjadi di masa depan. And the next is the example of recount text. So I will read the story. last spring, I spent my holiday in Seoul, South Korea. I went there with my sister and also some of my friends. On the first day, I was landed at Incheon Airport around 7 a.m. after an almost 10 hours long flight. Then I went to Seoul by train and checked into the hotel I already booked. I decided to take a rest for a while. At night, I went to Hongdae, a famous district in Seoul, Korea. I went to eat many Korean street food. On the next day, I went to Namsan Tower. There, I take so many pictures. After Namsan Tower, I also went to Han River and then I went shopping. I also went to attend a concert. Me and my sister already booked the tickets a month ago. I spent my last day in Myeongdong and bought some stuffs and souvenirs for my family and friends. I went to the airport at 3 p.m. because my flight was at 5 p.m. I had a fantastic experience in South Korea and made a wonderful memory with my friends, and it was a great trip. Jadi, we can see that from the text, or the first paragraph, we can say that it is the orientation part because it tells about the who was involved, what happened, where and when it happened. And the second paragraph, we can tell that it is the series of the event because it is contained with the event or activity that she or he doing. And the third paragraph or the last paragraph, we can say that it is the reorientation because as we can see, it is contained with personal comment or opinion. As for the language feature, we can see that the text is focused on a person that spent her or his holiday. For the chronological connection, the text use the first day on the first day, then or on the next day, and others. For the linking verb, there is use was. For the action verb, there are when, it, take, and others. And the last, for the simple past, there are spend, when, bought, made, and many others. Okay, next, there are 5 questions in this. So I want you to answer this question, not here, but I will give you this as the homework, and I need you to collect this task tomorrow at 1 p.m. So that's all for today's meeting. I'm sorry if I made any mistake. If you have any question, you can ask in our WhatsApp group. That's all for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss. See you.
Thank you. See you.
So we already learned about the definition of recount text, that is the text written to retell past events and experience, usually in the order in which they happen. And we also learned about the purpose of recount text, that is to retell and inform the readers about past events, starting by telling the readers who was involved, what happened, where this event took place, and when it happened. And the next, we also learn about the language feature of the context, that is focused on individual or group participation, using chronological connection, using linking verb, using action verb, and using simple past. And also we learn about the generic structure of recount text, that is the orientation, series of event, and reorientation. So I think that's all for this video's explanation or teaching. If I made any mistakes, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for watching and for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.